Yeah.
Let's have a domestic, yes, about reading glasses. And I've pushed the button. Reading glasses.
I don't need varifocals. I only
She
need
doesn't
reading
need
glasses.
varifocals, everybody. Hello.
No.
Hello. Whilst Mrs. Saunders and I have a domestic, welcome to episode 57 of the Ladies Wot Pod.
Yep.
The pod with extra vim and vigour this week.
Extra vim.
So,
it was Flash. It was Flash that cleans bath.
Yeah,
Flash cleans bath without scratching.
Edge of the fence, yes. Here in, I was going to say sunny Cambridgeshire, but the light's gone because it's Monday evening, everybody. And had a busy weekend with the cameras and wearing a red hat. And you are my good friend.
I'm your good friend when you're not picking on me, telling me I need varifocals, which I don't. I am Lis Saunders, and I am Chief Halo, Chairman of the Saint Supporters Club, and just all round rugby geek, really. I think that's in not sunny South Northants. It's been a bit cloudy all day today.
Yes, it's been a bit of a grey day. Yes. So, shall we start with the game? There lots happened this weekend, so we'll be talking about former players' lunches, other games that have happened at the Gardens this weekend, Bedford's game against Anfield. But we have to, and of course, International Man of Mystery making his first appearance at the Gardens. So
he did. Yeah.
So we'll begin. It's a packed schedule today, but we'll start with the game.
The game. What a game. What a joyous game of rugby. Absolutely blooming awesome. It was end-to-end stuff. It was hard but fair. There was some sublime handling moves from both sides. It's just tremendous. Tremendous. Yeah.
Really, really good game of rugby. A proper game that... As Ferg said to me at the end of the game, that was a proper game of rugby.
It was. I was going to say something needs
Ladies
to make
and gentlemen, for those of you on Spotify, she's reaching for a very important device, which we met very early on in the existence of the Ladies Wot Pod.
We did.
The heart rate monitor is back.
The blood pressure monitor is back because it was, as my IT department said, well, it would have been a nail biter, but we were all wearing gloves. So it was...
I was wearing fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you would have been, but the rest of us weren't. We'd got gloves on. So, but yeah, what an amazing... Oh, hello, I've just set it off. Stop it, no.
You're feeling the stress, Mrs. Saunders.
Yeah. I am now. Stupid thing. Yeah. What? Just an amazing game. I mean, I don't know how many times the lead changed hands. 2 or 3, I guess. Must have been. We led. They led. We led. That's it. Yeah. I think that's how it went. Yeah. But it was the momentum swings were amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely
all
amazing.
There.
So we had a full house. It was a mixture of red, black, green and gold. Fantastic singing. And something that we talked about on Saturday that I don't think would have happened in 2009. Well done to the Franklin's Gardens crowd for out-singing the opposition.
Yes, they did.
When the field of Athenry did start, the Gardens faithful got stuck in. And it was great to hear the singing competition. So well done. Both fans were absolutely brilliant.
Really lovely bunch of supporters. I've just been exchanging emails with their chairman of their supporters club, and it's like, well, we really hope we get each other again. I think because they're not as successful. This so often happens. They're not as successful as they were, and so I think they've lost a lot of their glory hunting supporters. So the supporters they've got now, proper supporters. They're like the diehard Saints supporters. Yes, for 80 minutes, they've got red tinted spectacles on like we have, but the before and after the game, the crack, they were just delightful.
They were fantastic, and they sang their hearts out. And but I'm afraid if we were to have a little singing competition, I think the Gardens Faithful won it.
Yeah,
I think they won it. Yeah. So it was great to hear the banter. There was plenty of banter, as you can imagine.
Plenty of banter.
And there was lots of banter about, because there was a lot happening on that pitch. Taigburn, was he ever onside? Did he actually ever manage to find the onside line? If he did, he knew exactly where he was, because he was usually on the wrong side of it and made sure he was. But it was a fantastic game of rugby. It was two teams absolutely going for it, hammer and tongs. I think there was a significant loss that made a difference. Mr. Tom Seabrook's moustache.
Oh, yes. Do you think it made him more aerodynamic not having a moustache?
I think so. So when I asked him about it for the game, he said it fell off. So...
That's a bit weird, but yeah, okay, Tom.
And, Tom, go for the new streamline version, because I did ask if it was coming back. Yeah. Well, he might do one day. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Not now.
I don't think so.
Not now.
No tashes, please, Tom. If you're going to fly down that wing the way you did.
The joy on his face as he crossed the line for his third try is just, it's just joy on legs. That whole run up as he runs down. Yeah, we're in. Absolutely brilliant young man. Well played. Talk about taking your opportunities. He's
absolutely and celebrate. And also his try celebration when James Ram went in. So they were just a bunch of lads enjoying scoring those tries, and they were beautiful tries. And they were, I was so chuffed that Tom Seabrook. If you remember, I won an award last year for Tom Seabrook's dive, because he is Superman.
Yes,
and there again, I got Superman in full flight.
You did.
Absolutely cracking tries to take photos of. Really, really good. I didn't get Finn's flip pass. He was a watercolour blur. That fast. Yeah. But I did get the fantastic, lacking in a moustache, Tom Seabrook. Scoring his try.
I think special mention to Finn, who, although was off his sickbed, has not eaten much all week, apparently, still on antibiotics. And you could see he was slightly below 100%. But even a Finn Smith, slightly below 100%, is worth many other fly-halves at 100%. He was still amazing. Well played, that young man. He was,
absolutely, but there was no chance of him not playing, as I said to Dr. T.
No.
In the same way, there was much talk. I have listened back to the radio commentary of Radio Northampton, and Graham and Lenny were convinced that Alex Mitchell wasn't coming out at half time. His leg would have had to have fallen off before he was come out of that pitch.
I just say,
Mitch
didn't get a card this week.
Yeah, well done, Mitch. Very good. Yeah, very good.
Because I gave him a hug. And I went, look, I haven't given you a hug.
Well done,
I haven't given you a hug in the past 2 weeks, and you've got a card. He went, I know. Come here. So that was all.
Good. Very good. Well done, Liz. Top work. Yeah, no, top work.
Well done, Mitch. for not being rotivated through them all.
He let Fraser and Hutch deal with Malls. He was very wisely staying out of them this week. Yes. The other person that we need to mention before we get onto the Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match is poor Tarek.
Yes. What was he doing? What exactly was he doing?
What was he doing? When it happened, I thought, I've just seen a prop do the splits. I've never seen that in decades of watching rugby. And no wonder the referee blew the whistle, because he probably made a funny noise when he did it.
Yeah. I think his leg, what did the ref say? His leg's at a strange angle. Well, yeah. Not if you're a gymnast, but it is if you're a prop.
Now, if it was James Ram, I could quite understand, but not Tarek.
Yeah. No, bless him.
I did have a chat with him afterwards, as he said he was a bit surprised when he managed it. I said, well, it's a first. I've never seen a prop do that before. I thought Tarek was outstanding. I'm not putting a bid in for the Ladies Wot Pod yet, but I thought he was playing with a smile on his face. He was almost like there's a little glint in his eye. He's having fun. He's having fun.
Yeah.
He's having fun. But there was more than that in his eye when he did the splits. So well done, Tarek, for not damaging yourself. And being able to continue. I think it was an amazing lineup that we managed, given...
oh, good grief, yeah.
We had the return of poor Alex Coles. Oh, I don't know what he's done to his arm, shoulder. And no, I haven't had any injury reports. And, poor Alex. He's had a run of bad luck, and he was playing really well. But we managed to get him out for a big chunk of the game. So, it was good to get him back. Obviously, we got Finn back. Those two made a huge difference to...
Big shout out to Big Tom Lockett as well, who not only managed our line out was functioning, but managed to steal one of theirs.
Oh, yes. So, he was really winding up the opposition. Yeah. He's come of age, and as we say about Henry learning fast, I think Mr. Lockett is, that poor James Craig getting the full, Lockett debrief instantly after the Paris game. It obviously worked, James. Well done. Because there were a couple that went astray, but no, it was secure ball and quick ball, and actually. In the second half, of course, Mr. Seabrook's third try came off straight off the top. Yeah, it was beautiful to watch. So,
when you think who they were jumping against, no slouches there, are there?
No, absolutely not. So, absolutely. I think we had 7 Toms in the squad.
We did have 7 Toms.
I decided not to try and gather 7 Toms because they were all enjoying themselves so much after the game, and with the huge crowd, there was even less chance of me getting the 7 of them in one place than there was in Glasgow. So with the 6, so I decided not to bother.
Can we just returning to lineouts?
Oh yes,
the 50-22.
The one where he's standing outside the 22 to throw it in. Yes, that one you mean? Yes.
There wasn't a 50-22
no, of course
anyway.
It wasn't a 50-22. No.
So, that was a bit...
We did have an interesting discussion with the IT department about the placement of flags. That was fun.
Oh, for goodness sake. I kept telling him the flag is irrelevant. It's the line.
Is it where the flag is rather than where the line is? No, it's where the line is.
He's had to go and look it up and went, oh, yeah, the flag doesn't matter. No, that's what I told you.
Anyway, yes, so, and why... No, anyway, that was bizarre. That was bizarre.
Yeah. Very strange. Anyway, didn't matter in the end, but it might have done.
We will talk about the Sgt Wilson Award, but I think we do need to talk about the referee. It was a Georgian refereeing team, and it was a big game for them, but they have refereed in World Cups, so they're not, they're no slouches, the 3 of them. But I don't think it was their best day at the office. I think they were too inconsistent in applying the laws of the game, which led to some frustration certainly on the crowd's part. And I mean the red part of the crowd and the green, black and gold part of the crowd.
Yeah, both sides. Yeah.
It was all a bit inconsistent and, less than... So I don't think he'll look back on that one fondly.
I don't think it'll be in his highlights reel, will it?
No, that's not going to be in the highlights reel. However, he did let the game flow. He communicated well with the players.
Yes.
Yeah, so he did. I thought he did very well talking to the players. I've got some fantastic photographs of Fraser with him. Fraser just holding his elbow, just quietly, just.
Well, I think that brings us straight on to the Sgt Wilson Award, because I was listening on my ref link at the time. I've watched it back, and there is only one Sgt Wilson on that pitch. And
there is, yeah. And it has to be, doesn't it?
So, yeah. Well, as the original Sergeant Wilson has said, he's more Sergeant Wilson than I am, really, and I think that proved it.
I think he proved it. I'll just see if let's see if we've got. Shall I see if I can get a quick photograph of Sergeant Wilson at work? Because Wilson. It really is. It's brilliant, utterly brilliant. That he's just got, Yeah, I absolutely agree, sir. No.
Yes, but would you mind awfully?
Just checking this one
next time they try and take my head off?
Well, yes, we did think that Fraser's neck was back to its slinky best because it would need to be, given that, given what was here we go. So if I share my screen, look at that. Referee seeking Fraser's opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you sure about that, sir? Oh, I don't know.
Maybe. Now you mention it.
Yeah.
Could it be? Possibly.
Maybe.
No, sir.
Yes.
I think. That's a brilliant set of photos. For those on Spotify, shame you can't see them.
Well, you do get a little video on Spotify. It's Apple where you don't get anything at all. But it is worth looking at the video because Fraser, this is peak Sergeant Wilson. It is
peak Sergeant Wilson.
He's managing. It's this one that's my favourite.
Yes.
Notice, look.
Oh,
he's got his arm. Yeah. He's got his arm. Yes, sir. I think you're right.
Yes. Yeah. However.
there he is leaving the pitch. A very happy captain. Yeah. I actually quite like. I'm just whizzing back. I do like that. Here he is. Hello. It would help if I push the right button. There we go.
What are you doing? What are we looking at?
Here he is. Here is Sergeant Wilson leading his troops. Look at George Makepeace Cubitt. Concentrated really, really hard.
Really hard, bless him.
Travelling substitute. Anyway, yes. So, Sergeant Wilson Award, well done, Fraser. Had to be.
Yeah. So, player of the match then.
Well, before we talk player of the match, should we talk simulation?
Oh, yes. I guess I haven't ticked that off. Yeah. That was where the ref, I thought, did really well.
Yes.
Actually, was having none of it.
No. So catch the ball, call the mark, but because the player's got his arms around, feign that he's now been poleaxed on the ground, and then realise he's actually codded it up a bit and pretend he's got cramp.
Cramp.
Idiot is like.
That was a right mess. That was a right mess.
Nana. Anyway, well done to the referee for ignoring it.
Yes.
Player of the match. Now we can't choose Tom Seabrook, who actually I think TNT got it spot on because he,
absolutely,
he was on fire. You can't score and support the team, with his running lines the way he did, without it being that. So, well done, Tom. Generally, we agree that the overweight zebras.
No, they're horrible. So
they're not.
Bring back the original Dazzle. They're not right. No.
Yeah, original Dazzle. No. This week's media present in the press room, you were somewhat disappointed before we get onto the play.
Oh, bitterly disappointed. I wanted Dazzle biscuits again.
No Leberkuchen, ginger biscuit thing. No. Pringles.
Zebra flavoured Pringles.
Our dear friend Simon Robinson asked were they zebra flavoured?
There's no other logic to having them.
To go, when I looked at the ingredients, they were either E471 flavoured or ready salted. Very disappointing. And the Munster media team informed me that it was biltong at Thomond Park last week. There you go.
What was it at Stad then?
I didn't go in the press room, so I got no idea.
Well, I think we should know. I think we need to find out.
We need to find out
time
what was it. We need to talk to Liz. I'm not sure Liz went in the press room. She was too busy being mugged by people insisting that I wore a purple bib.
Oh, yes. And rearranging the team because of late flu withdrawals.
Yeah. Yes, late flu withdrawals. Yes. Yes.
So,
well, who's on your list then, Liz?
Well, I've got a special mention to Curtis Langdon, because I thought he was just a Pete Curtis, really, and scored a try. I thought he played really well. Tom Pearson, I thought, had one of you just going from strength to strength. He was a blasted nuisance. He was everywhere. Some of the tackles he put in were huge, and then James Ram, just if only for that pass, let alone that try, but that pass out to Tom Seagrove. Tom Seabrook was just fantastic, and he makes the Opta Team of the Week as well, does James Ram. So he's up there for mine. So who have you got on your list?
Well, I have Josh Kemeny, because he was doing a lot of grunt work of being annoying. You know, that person who just did it. Big Trev was outstanding and did a fantastic. Well, they were obviously getting fed up with Tyburn being offside, so Big Trev took to just standing there.
Something he excels at.
I feel he was brilliant, utterly brilliant. Yes, it was one of those. I actually thought Hutch had another fabulous game.
He did. You did, yeah.
With the news coming out of Scotland, it will be very interesting if Gregor can really resist playing him. But So in the Six Nations, so yes, it's a tricky one this week. I think, it is. And of course, I thought Tom Lockett was immense in the line-out.
Yeah.
It was almost like he had a shopping list of stuff that he and James had talked about, and he was working his way through his homework. Oh, yes, I did that one. Yes. So, absolutely immense. Dominant, just, doing exactly what you want a young Lock doing. Yeah. So he was outstanding. So who are we going to pick then? We picked most of the team. Oh, by the way, Josh Kemeny's words to me were, of course, it's his first game against Munster, and he couldn't hear the calls. He said the crowd was loud.
So loud.
He could not hear the calls. And I said, it's always like that. That's what it's like in these games. And he said, it's brilliant. I love it.
Oh, brilliant.
And we mustn't forget Tarek on the other side. I mean, I'm almost tempted to audit to Tarek for doing the splits, but anyway, that might be a...
I'm actually minded Tom Lockett, simply because, having come back from really what was just an unfolding nightmare in Paris, to actually come and dominate the line out against that second row.
There were some seasoned operators who were looking to rough him up, and he wasn't having any of it. Yeah,
he was having none of it, and to actually get anything from them was let's go Tom Lockett.
Well done, Tom. I did ask Chris, his dad, what I'd done last week, because of course Chris knows my diary, and which was good, because I don't know my diary. Apparently, he only does the past. He doesn't do future, which is,
that's not very good. That's not very good.
But at least he does the past, because I didn't know where I was in September. So well done, Tom.
Yeah, well done,
outstanding
Tom.
Work. Premier Sports. Can we talk about Premier Sports?
Oh, let's get that over and done with. Yeah. Really? So, what? Well, one thing that made me laugh to start with was the fact that they set up their little thing where they do their bit camera before the game with Simon Zebo in the corner where George Hendy skinned Simon Zebo twice last season. I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah.
However, why Andy Good? Why Andy Good at all? Ever? Why? Is he cheap? I doubt it. But why? He is just, to listen to him, is so depressing. Whatever. He has, I'm sure he's gone on record for saying he doesn't like Saints because we're one of the few clubs he's never played for, and he's a former Tiger. He hardly balances out Simon Zebo, does he?
And also his punditry was, to quote, awful. Crap. We did not get mullered in the scrum in Paris, Mr. Good. If you'd watched anything of that game, you would have known it was the line that had the trouble. We did not have... And if you wanted to talk about, the rolling maul, the drive, absolutely, we had a problem in the second half with that. But, and actually the end of the first half. But there was nothing wrong with the scrum. And time again, I felt myself wanting to lob stuff at the telly as Mr. Good explained what had happened in previous games, which was utter crap. Now, I don't mind, the occasional mistake, because, I make many. But it was just consistent rubbish. Utter rubbish. Oh,
also, the criticism of Mitch, who got overtaken by a winger.
Big leg by then.
And he's a scrum half, and that's a winger. And tell me, Andy Good, how many times did you get done for pace?
It's just like,
don't project.
What went on in the match earlier? Oh, I mean, he's looking the wrong way. He didn't realise. No, he's only got one working leg.
Ridiculous. Anyway,
having Simon Zebo as the counterpoint to a ex-Leicester Tiger player. Yeah, no, sorry, Premier Sport. Please, 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 can you do something about your punditry and at least arm them with facts that are true? I mean, seriously, it just unbelievable.
Well, I think it was so unbalanced. Do you even have Baifs weighing in on the side of Saints? He normally manages to do. Not even, you wouldn't, if you didn't know, you'd never know that he's an ex-Saints player. But even he was having to wade in from time to time and go, well, yeah.
In the post-match, yes. Jamie Lyle, on the other hand, the commentator, is excellent. I like his enthusiasm. Yeah. He clearly loves the Gardens, and his attention, his notes are fabulous. Having seen
his attention to detail is impressive.
Attention to detail. So he is. More Jamie, please. We like Jamie. Nick Heath, I watched a bit of Toulon's rather strange visit to the Salford Community Stadium last night. And Nick Heath, again, does a fantastic job. More Nick Heath and more Jamie Lyle. But the pundits, no, and...
No.
No.
Anyway,
great. Anyway, so it was a good weekend. We came away with the 5 points, which means that we have a home. Oh, let's talk complexities of the Investec Champions Cup. Anyway, we finished.
Can I just say my theory about the Investec Champions Cup? If you need a degree in statistics to work out what's happening, it is not fit for purpose.
No.
Anyway,
so we've got a home round of 16 against our old friends Clermont Auvergne, ASM Clermont Auvergne. Currently home to one Ian Vass. Mr. Vass's team beat Mr. Lamb's team on Saturday. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Saturday. And so they're coming to the Gardens, and we've had a number of battles with Clermont over the years, so it should be very interesting to see. Not counting any chickens of any size or variation.
None at all. No
chickens. None.
No chickens. None.
However, if we were to be gloriously victorious, we would have a home quarter final. And that
against either Castra or Benetton.
Yes.
Bizarrely. Who saw that one coming?
Jones's favourite Italian team, who when she was little used to call them Benetton Chorizo. Anyway. There you go. And the one
Now
where
you'd think Zebra. You'd
pitch.
think Zebra would be doing better in this, really, wouldn't you?
They would think. Yes. We got booed off the pitch in Treviso. We've had that conversation and bus rides and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, we have.
That stems from the fact that our seeding is 3 because we won the group, and the winners of the group are seeds 1 to 4, and it's in points order. Weird.
Yes.
Because of that, we get a home quarter final. The way the draws worked out is one half of the draw is probably likely going to France, given the number of French teams in it. And then the other half of the draw, well, it'll be interesting to see if someone can beat Leinster. But if it goes to form, and it hasn't so far, it looks like a semi-final in Dublin for who? Yes. Now, my dear friend Will.
Just out of research, I was going to say, just as a matter of research, I looked at where the Punchestown races were on again that weekend. They are.
Funny that.
So, yeah.
And so, my dear friend Will, who is a Harlequin supporter, and we'll be talking about them shortly, he has the delight of going to Croke Park because the round of 16 game is going to be played at Croke Park. Still think it's a nonsense. Anyway, so we'll see. Should somebody, right, this is the reason I mention this, should somebody beat Leinster, the next seed down inherits the home country, which would be us. So it could be that we're here in England. Now, if we get beaten, it's the one below that, and so it goes down there. Yes.
Oh, I see. See, degree in stats. That's what you need. It's ridiculous.
It just follows the seeding out of the pool stages. So if Glasgow, who have beaten Leinster, because if Glasgow were to win, it goes to us. So it goes to us. There's us when we were in Paris going, look, we're bound to have another trip. We could have been tempting fate.
Well,
but we're not. No chickens are being counted at all.
No chickens.
A massive game against an informed Claremore come the beginning of April.
Yeah. Very exciting. God only knows what will have happened by then.
Now, we must, before we get on to the next game, we must have a quick sojourn back to Friday because it was the former players, the Benevolent Fund former players lunch held this year, rather than London, held at the Gardens. And it was great to see so many former players there. And you might go, Claire, why are you there? Because you're not a former player. No, I had the camera stuck to my face as usual. I've done it. I'm absolutely honoured to be invited to do it because I love it. I did the first 2 years in London and I did the third year in the Champion Suite at Franklin's Gardens, and it was fantastic to see. Now, the timing is a little earlier than normal because normally they hold it in mid-February because they timed it around the Munster game, and they were very keen to get the class of 2000 back together, the Heineken Cup winners back together. Many of them met on Thursday. They had a long weekend. Long, hard weekend.
They did.
Many of the Heineken Cup winners met on Thursday evening. They had a gathering, but then several of them joined the lunch on Friday. Not all of them because they have to work and all the rest of it. But there were lots there. It was great to talk to the likes of Ben Cohen, and Budge Pountney even, and of course Rodders. Pountney, yes, of course Rodders. Pat Lamb was there on the Thursday. I was really impressed at this. Pat was there on the Thursday, and then flew out to France. Ali Heifer wasn't there either on the Thursday or the Friday, but he came to the Gardens on Saturday.
Oh.
So he was at the Gardens on Saturday. So I was really impressed how many of the coaches, the backroom staff and the players really wanted to celebrate that 2000 win. Because it was I had a lovely chat with Don McKinnon, and we talked about that famous moment when they brought the cup up the pitch towards the Sturtridge. It was, I mean, I had tears streaming down my face. It was, it's a magical memory. So it's a fantastic lunch. Paul Shields and Nikki Thompson do a brilliant job pulling it all together. There were lots of players. We had a person attending their first one. Yes, that's you, Mr. Alex Waller.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I don't think we'd seen Stephen Myler there before, but he was there, and the likes of Ben Nutley. So we're getting the generations all the way through.
Oh, that's
I
good.
think Roger Horwood had the lowest player number, all the way through to the lovely Alex Waller. I don't know, actually. That's just caused me to think. Who had the highest number out of that little group that was sat at the table? Might have been Ben Nutley, actually.
I would imagine it would be Ben Nutley.
Or Reece Marshall. Reece Marshall was also there. But it was lovely to see.
Oh, yeah, it'd be one of those two, I would have thought.
Yeah. It's a great event. I'll share my. Oh, hello. Did you hear my computer get cross with me? I'll share my screen because there is a photo that we do every year because it's become tradition now, which is we take a photograph of everybody at the lunch in one huge team photo, and it was so huge that we had to go outside. We couldn't actually do it inside. So I'll just share my screen. Here we go. For those of you on Spotify, it's another reason to be watching on YouTube. There you go. Look at that.
There they are.
What a lovely lot. And yeah, it's a great afternoon. In fact, it's not. Yeah, day with the lads. And lots of happy memories, lots of stories. And everybody who comes suddenly realises how much they love the club, how much they really do want to come back. Absolutely fantastic event. And then, of course, the Heineken team walked around the pitch on Saturday. And were well greeted. I particularly like the banter between one particular part of the terrace full of Munster supporters with them. And then, of course, they went and mugged Base, who was so pleased to see them.
I feel many of them had lunched well, but not necessarily wisely at that point.
Yes. The person who was clearly making the full, he was going to get full value out of his flight was Freddie Mendes. And, of course, for those of you who don't know the story of Freddie, of course, he famously punched Paul Ackford when 18, but he played for us in the 2000 final and didn't come back to the Gardens to celebrate because he had to fly to Argentina to play for Argentina against Ireland. And this weekend was the first time he's ever come back to the Gardens. And he looked quite emotional. He was having, as they walked around the pitch, they were looking after him because he was very emotional about what he was seeing, what he was hearing. He was a man who was getting full value from his trip, but it clearly affected him how much. I imagine he was somewhat startled by how much the Gardens had changed.
Oh yes, goodness me, yes.
Like that in 2000.
Yeah. No.
But wonderful. Well done to Paul. Wonderful charity, supports former players and staff of the club who need a little bit of help, and lots of fundraising going on. So well done.
Good. Can I we moved swiftly off other results this weekend. One I feel we must mention. It would be remiss of us
not to have a laugh.
I feel. Yes, I was going to be nicer than that, but hell's bells! I thought we suffered in La Rochelle, but that's nothing compared with Tiggers at Toulouse.
Well, actually, I was thinking of another result, but yes, Tiggers in Toulouse.
The Sarries one
flew down
Castra
Sarries. Lots of the press flew down there saying, "Oh, this is going to be a really tight game. This is going to be fantastic. We're going to have a wonderful time." Right. Well, when it got to a cricket score to nothing after about 25 minutes, you just thought, where's this close game gone? Because it's not happening.
You quite often see a point a minute, don't you, up till half time. Rarely in a top class match does it go a point a minute all the way.
Yeah, they got absolutely slaughtered. I had the misfortune to turn on. We were trying to find the Sale game because we obviously wanted to listen to it to find out what was going on, and I ended up listening. I put Premier Sports on my phone. So we could listen to the lovely Nick Heath tell us what was going on. But before that, we stupidly listened to BBC Radio Leicester and their assessment of the game. And seriously, BBC Radio Leicester, I don't know who you were, but you do need to understand the finances of the sport in France versus the finance of the sport in, you can start with Leicester, but in England, because they hadn't got a flipping clue.
Oh, right. Okay, that's useful.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, no, the one I was having a laugh at, how we laughed, was what was going on at the Stone X. So
yes, a travelling French side. Definitely 5 points for Sarries. Travelling French side who aren't interested in the competition.
The travelling French side, whose player of the match admitted he hadn't played in the top 14 this season. Well. As full strength Saracens didn't. Yes.
These things happen, don't they? There we go.
Do. They happen. They've happened to us in the past, but anyway, not quite like that.
They have.
Meanwhile, Battle of Bedfordshire, we won't spend long on it because all I know is it was a comfortable win for the Bedford Blues. So Sherpa 2 sent me a very happy text message after our game and his game saying, woohoo, a double win. So, yeah, absolutely. It was well done. The honours are definitely in Bedford, not Ampthill. Yesterday, I shot the Loughborough Lightning match against Exeter Chiefs. I'm not going to spend too long on it, other than to say congratulations to Emily Scarrett on her 50th cap. She played really well. In fact, it was heartbreaking. They took the lead with 12 minutes to go and tried to hang on. And a rather strange penalty at the very end meant that Exeter Chiefs, who were red, their fly half was red carded. I didn't even notice. I was too busy faffing around with photos. Anyway, it was a very cruel way to lose the game. Very cruel way to lose the game. So, girls, keep going.
Yeah.
One person I bumped into from distant Saints history, who is now the comms manager at Exeter Chiefs Women, is Caroline Moore. Caroline used to be the head of comms, media manager at Saints way back when. So it was good to catch up with Caroline. She's clearly enjoying life in the southwest. And Exeter, they are a smart bunch of operators. They've got a good team there. Towcester Under 10s and Under 7s. Well, should we start?
They actually played well. Let's start with the Under 7s.
Yeah.
Because the Under 7s, it was the Under 7s festival in the barn. High performance centre, which was just chaos, really.
But fun chaos.
Under 7s, it's herding cats, plaiting fog, all of those things. But there were lots of little children running around with tags on, being just having their best life, really. And
loving it.
Towcester Under 7s did really well, I think. Won some. May have lost some, who knows, at that level. But they, we have a report from the International Man of Mystery maintained his mystique by having his hood up a lot of the time.
He did. And it made taking photos of him a bit challenging. And there was one moment when his mother uttered the words, "What is he doing?" To which I responded, "Sunbathing."
He was lying down.
Yeah.
It wasn't during a game. To be fair, it wasn't during a game.
During his warm-up, I don't know whether he was doing a phrase of Dingwall and trying to stretch, or just lolling about. But I said sunbathing. Anyway, shall we have a report from the International Man of Mystery, who you, ladies and gentlemen, except those of you on Spotify and Apple, will see, because he hasn't got his hood up.
No.
Okay. Granny Gingy, I tried my best and I scored a try and I got lots of tags. And this was yesterday and Saints won the match yesterday. The end.
There he is.
There he is, International Man of Mystery. Who knows when we'll hear from him again?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
So I met somebody very important on Saturday.
Did you?
Who was doing leaping. Because Towcester Under 10's representative, Harry, was demonstrating to me.
Yes.
Yeah, baby rhino leaping.
Baby rhino leaping. Indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
very important. Yeah. He did leap a lot.
Yes. Yes. Harry was there supporting his brother. A little too much at times. We had to be told, no, you can't coach quite like that from the touchline. But he was nothing if not enthusiastic about supporting his little brother, which was really nice to see. So, he's got a report. He actually got to play a game yesterday, or several yesterday. So
excellent.
Here it goes.
Today's games were hard. There was meant to be 5, but there was 4. And the 4th game was cut short because we had to move out the way for the bigger players. But on I think it was the 2nd or 3rd game, my leg started to hurt, so I was hanging back I was like this, hanging back. And then Mummy shouted something at me and I realised who we were playing. We were playing Bugbrook, and I don't like Bugbrook. So I started going in mad tackling every time they made a pass. So let's say they just started, they made a pass. I was already running full speed tackling them. I got really muddy and I also did this to my leg and my sock. I got very muddy. And and I was really good at the scrums. And the 4th game I said was short since games were supposed to be 10 minutes. But that one was I was subbed for the first half, which was 5 minutes. And then I got 2 minutes of play and then the game ended.
Supporting Freddie.
Oh yeah, and when everybody was scoring tries, I was always behind them, but my best one was probably when I was right behind Freddie, since he was getting tackled. And I was there saying, Freddie, if you have to, you can pass to me. And then he broke through and then scored. That's right.
Good day?
Yes. And if we had time, I would have gotten a mention, but I didn't because we had to move off the pitch.
Done.
Well done, Harry. He's a slip.
And I think we need more reports from the senior players. Well, if I'd played longer, I would have got man of the match. I just think he's just.
You know, the only player that's likely to utter those words.
I do.
It's not one you're going to hear from Big Trev, is it? Right.
No.
So, moving on to other matters.
Yes.
We had the Saint Supporters Forum last week.
We did the season ticket holders forum, which I thought went very well. I thought Julia did. She was, bless her, she was quite nervous to start with, but she was brilliant. Presented everything in a very open, transparent way. Didn't get asked too many naughty questions, really.
Well, she did admit to me at the lunch on Friday, because she came to the lunch, which was great to see. She did admit to me that the unexpected question was the one about channels on the RefLink. She wasn't expecting that one. Fortunately, Jack was on hand to say that they have plans afoot to add more channels, so you can hear Lenny and Graham in glorious golden Technicolor. But
which I'm sure we've had in the past. I'm sure you could tune, when we first had those ref links, you could tune into Radio Northampton.
Oh, I don't know.
Might have been the very first ones, which were quite different anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, so she mentioned the work of the Halos and the Supporters Club, which was really nice, gratifying to hear. And I must admit, as Halos, we had a blast on Saturday. It was so nice. The Munster fans were just delightful, absolutely delightful.
Dr. Jones came home. Yeah. He'd had a blast, and he hadn't even had a guinea in his hand.
No, so, yes. we did have to call him back though. He was heading down Car Park A.
He was getting a bit over enthusiastic. He was managing that. Yes, I did hear that. But put him on a bit of elastic and sort of twing him back. You know.
Yeah.
Little
Could you come back? There are people down Abbey Street as well that need help. I'm here like Billy No Mates.
If you find a bloke in a gold high vis wandering the streets of St James, it's likely to be Dr. Jones. Yes. Practicing.
It was brilliant.
Yes. So I thought the forum. I watched it on YouTube, and I had a quick chat with John White and Julia at the players' lunch. And mind you, Julia came to find me during the game, just before the game on Saturday, to say I had taken one of the worst photographs of her ever, and I'd looked at it and thought, well, you know, I'll put it into private gallery, so only those who attended the lunch are going to see it. But she made a point of going, "That was terrible." I said, "Well, yeah, sorry." So well done, Jones, upsetting the CEO.
Yeah, good move.
But good move, yes. But I thought the questions were fantastic. I thought there was some really insightful questions, asking a lot of the things that you and I talk about on this pod. You know, the structure of the season, and the clashing with international. You, of course, incurred one of the comedy moments of the evening, thanks to Mr. Dowson. Trouble.
Yeah, trouble. This one's trouble. What? I mean, that was upsetting enough. But when the chairman agrees, oh yeah, thank you, thanks for that.
I didn't notice Julia leap to your defence. The sisterhood were not staying together on that one.
No, they weren't.
Oh dear. Mind you, we did laugh on WhatsApp. Anyway, but I think it was a really good forum.
My question for those who are interested was about why have we got another end of season, last game of the season away? Is it possible to have a word with the fixture elves and get us to finish the season at home?
At least, once would be nice.
Yeah, once in a blue moon would be pleasant.
Yes. Well, we did have a home away when we went to Bath, because Chris Lockett reminded me of that, at the start of the season, if you remember. So we've had away games both at the beginning and the end of the season.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Again.
So well done to the club. Those forums are really, really useful, and well done to everybody.
Good food as well. Good food. Oh, excellent.
But well done to everybody who asked really interesting questions, because there was a time when you could play question bingo.
We did have that conversation before the start with Jack. Beer prices.
Yeah. Price of pies. Yep, got that one.
Yeah.
But no, my bingo card remains, stoically blank. So well done, everybody. It was a really, really good event, and well done to the team who put it together. I know Jack Miller and the guys worked very hard on putting it together. So
it was good.
So well done.
It was good.
A supporters club and Halos.
And Halos, well, really just that we got that mention. We're sort of always on the lookout. Halos are drawn from the ranks of the season ticket holders and supporters club. We work with Christy, who set it up. So anybody who wants to be a Halo, drop a message in the chat and I'll point you in the right direction, let you know what you need to do. It's great fun. If you like chatting to people and helping them, telling them where to go, it's a job for you.
Dr.
It's great
Jones
fun.
Has an absolute blast. He loves it. Absolutely. more power.
And you don't have to commit to every home game. There's enough of us that we can do it on a rota. So, if you're not going to be there, if you've got friends coming or something, it can be juggled. But the more the merrier. It's
and it's led to an improvement in our match day. We are number 1 again at the top of the list. So it's
warmth of welcome.
Warmth of welcome. So, it makes a difference, and also
it does.
It's great fun, as Dr. Jones tells me endlessly. Thank you to everybody who came to say hello to me, as usual. And this week, I was delighted to be able to say, yes, we're coming up the hill.
Playing the right way.
And relax. Yes. So, yes. So I sat on my little fishing stool. To the gentleman who I had a couple of people I had fantastic conversations with. We were going down memory lane in one say because both of us have been to the final in 2000. It was that sort of day. So if you're a listener, welcome. If you're not, you won't hear this. But the other chap who I know is a listener. Because he referred to the bi-weekly mugging of me with the coin toss. And at that stage, we didn't know which way they were playing. But he said, it's quite simple to know which way we're playing, Claire. And I went, really? He went, just watch where your hat goes. There you go.
Well, yes, there you go.
Towards the cinch, we're playing downhill. Yes. And he said, I know you don't have anything to do with the coin toss. And I went, no, I can't influence the coin toss. In the Investec Champions Cup, they actually have an Investec Champions Cup coin. Can't use any old euro or 10p. You actually have to have the EPCR coin.
Well, they would.
Of course you do.
Why am I not surprised?
Anyway, yes. So thank you to everybody who comes to say hello. And do subscribe, do spread the word. We're talking to a couple who have listened all the way since episode 1.
Have indeed, yes. And apparently we make them laugh. So I thought we were a searing indictment of the state of rugby at the Cinch Stadium, Franklin's Gardens, actually. But apparently, no, we make people laugh. Who else was saying they try and listen at work? Somebody else told me they listen at work and, they're laughing all the time. People, what are you laughing at? I want to know what you're laughing at as well. This is not what this is supposed to be. Good grief.
Serious punditry, she lied.
Yeah.
Actually, given the performance of Andy Good, you could register this as serious punditry. So thank you to everybody. We do absolutely love doing this. It is great fun. It is a wonderful club to follow. It's a very sociable, open club. Everybody talks to everybody. We do love it when you come and say hello. So do come and say hello. If you're at the Quins game on Friday, so Saints are heading off to the Stoop. Yes. The Guardian once described the Stoop. No, not the Stoop. The Stoop. Get my teeth in again. The Stoop as a beer festival with an occasional rugby match going on in the middle of it.
Yeah.
They do tend to be a crowd that have to be told when to cheer, which is a bit odd. And so after the excitement of this weekend, it's going to be a bit strange. Anyway, it's going to be a difficult game for both sides because they're shorn of 6 internationals. I don't know about those in the Scotland squad. Are they allowed to play? Or?
No, they're not bound, are they, by the same restrictions? So I think we can play them if we wanted to.
Right. Which, of course, in our case is Rory. I don't know if Harlequins have any. Do they have any Welsh or Scottish?
Anyway. They might have some Welsh. They might have some Welsh, but I don't think they're bound by the same restrictions as the English players. And I suppose if we've got to play anyone in this time, Harlequins, because they're stripped of 6, the same as us, it makes it fair. It's not like blooming Bristol where they lose nobody or 1 or something.
Yes, it's not great. And interestingly, and I think this is, congratulations to Pat Sanderson for this.
Yeah.
Sale have provided 7 of the team, and which is interesting. And I have to say, Tom Roebuck is playing some fabulous rugby.
Yeah.
And the Curry brothers, whatever we might think, they're very, very good. And Bevan Rod, of course, and I'm not going to try and remember the others, but hey, George Ford.
Come on.
You see, I've
That's
ruined
pushing
it.
it.
I've ruined
Wait,
it.
so it's Six and George Ford, really, isn't it? Six and George Ford is what we're talking about here.
It's nice. It's nice to see that it's not Saracens who are providing the vast swathes of. I mean, there are other clubs getting.
I have to say that I am relieved that he hasn't taken our Henry, because I just think not yet. He needs.
We didn't mention Henry.
We didn't mention Henry.
No, there are 2 reasons we should have mentioned Henry, and we are bad people. We're just assuming that Henry plays well.
Oh, it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Henry.
Happy birthday, Henry. You've made it to 20, so we can't call you a teenager anymore. But secondly, that try-saving tackle. Oh, my God.
Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous.
Absolutely. And well done to the Saints for playing that tackle with Courts getting back. It was exactly the same. Absolutely outstanding. But has he got extendable arms? Because that last jackal was just immense. And well done to Tom Lockett, our Ladies Wot Pod Player of the Match, for rightly grabbing hold of the ball once young Henry had got hold. We can't call him young anymore soon.
Well, he is still young. He is still ridiculously young. He's just not a teenager. He's still 20, 20.
Well done to Tom Lockett for securing the ball and enabling Tom James to get it back to Finn to stuff it in the crowd. But that last jackal was just... well done to the TV cameraman at the far end, because he absolutely nailed the shot of Henry getting hold of the ball. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So well done to Henry. I'm glad he hasn't gone. I think the hype machine can leave him alone. He will develop. He's getting lots of rugby at the moment, and he's playing some outstanding stuff. So,
absolutely fantastic.
Well done.
It doesn't need that. We don't trust England with our players mentally and physically. So let's wait till he's a bit tougher. But Yep.
So I don't know. Oh God, my punditry is crap, isn't it? Because I don't know where Bedford are going this weekend. Do you know where Bedford are going this weekend?
No, I don't know where Bedford are going. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, I do know where I'm going. I'm going up to Derbyshire, so that's nice.
Yeah. We'll wish Bedford well, and we'll wish Lightning recover. Because they've got 3 matches left in their season. We're off to London. You're off up north.
Yes, I am. Yes,
it's getting towards the end of January. Where is 2025 going? It's speeding on.
It is. Yeah.
I think that was episode 57.
57. It was indeed episode 57. Yep. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Speak to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.